The impulse to grow, though shrouded in darkness, it is the natural inclination of the hibernating bulb to unfurl a tentative shoot and grow. Slender though it be, this slim chance defies the odds, pushing past rocks and resistance, reaching blindly up through the dark, trusting the upward urge might lead towards something greater than being stuck forever in a dour little grave. And so it grows, slipping up past the early crocus, replete in this spring's fashion, past the trumpeting welcome of bold daffodils already full-throated in song. Upward it slides until it has outstretched, almost touched possibility. But what will bring it from mere potential into all its kinetic joy? What will embolden the bloom? April has fulfilled her promise, so what will May herald for you, dear sprout? Good news. It is yours for the choosing. Will you be a giggling daisy, a heady peony, a coy foxglove, or a god-faced sunflower? Whatever you want to be, come back to life this spring, set an intention, and then poke your way out toward the sun. Be brave. The world needs you to be brave, and needs your unique, particular brand of beauty. Let's get into it. And here's the thing about the world. It's not going to ping you, ring you, or send a formal invitation, nor will the world formally declare you a steward of creation. We are just going to have to boldly deputize ourselves. And whatever profession, training, or predilection, it's time to step into our authority, insert ethics and caring back into our personal and professional conduct, and actively shape the next evolution of society up and out of this swirling chaos. Step around the weird mess of rampant individualism, and remember that we belong to each other. Any separation, an unhelpful delusion. We are inextricably linked, and if any of us suffer, we all suffer. We are stewards of creation, not masters. We are our brothers and our sisters' keeper. So let's get into it. It's clear the current system is not working, and there's no going back to the good old days because, let's be serious, the good old days weren't all that good for everybody. So let's get into it. Roll up our sleeves and dig down into the muck of it, the stink of it. Address our diverse thoughts and beliefs and selves and really be in conversation again. Talk, listen, and practice what Adam Grant, neuroscientist, in his book Think Again would call thinking like a scientist. Let's get curious, not defensive. Instead of bracing, fists at the ready in the stance of one of those old-timey pugilists. Yes, I know the fancy word for boxers. Let's not argue, and maybe just commit to asking questions. And listen. Don't convince. Don't try to win. Listen. We will have to actively work toward recovering from the long chaos of these times, times that boast an uptick in petty violence, a whining lack of discipline that has nothing to do with civil liberties, except when we are trampling those of others. And what of the inhumanity of naming another as other? Can this be the day when we begin to create possibility again? Is this the time we come together, put our shoulders to the old paradigm, and give it a shove? We see the potential for transformation around us, seemingly dead flower beds erupting with life. A lawyer just one generation removed from segregation, confirmed to the highest court in the land. A young comedian proving he can stand up to a Goliath evil. Possibility abounds if we have the courage to envision it, if we open our eyes to it, if we open our hearts and minds to a new way of being in the world. Does this have to be threatening? Can curiosity be the default on how we now face anything new or perceived as different? As Grant, an organizational psychologist, explains, intelligence is not just academic. It's in our neuroplasticity and our flexibility of intellect that allows us to unlearn and relearn even through these seemingly impossible times. Our history is of hard stuff, and we are made of these times and for these times. Look to be a leader, and then look to be led by the most unexpected of heroes, a child environmentalist who does not have time for inaction and overwhelm because she has the audacity of youth, and she's not afraid of politics, pundits, or super PACs because she sees the world in pain and responds, or a young braided poet who brings you back to yourself and helps you fall back into your original sense of awe, hope, and actively wanting to shape the world. We need this pattern of transformation. We see it taking bud around us. Can it take root in us again? The young do not have time to get bogged down in the overwhelm because they see the world they are inheriting, and it needs help. And we must join them. Shake off the manure, the dust of complacency, and a stubborn unwillingness to challenge the status quo that has us stuck. Unleash hope and press upward toward the sun, shining down through a gap in the heavens. Straighten up. It's time. Let's get into it. Ready, set, grow on. No retreat is possible, for the husk is cracked, the chrysalis long abandoned, the delicate derelict chateau of the seed behind you. The only way forward is to life, to live, to start.